And welcome back, everybody. Here on April the 13th, the National Latino Peace Officers Association is going to be holding a gang identification and trends training workshop. Joining us with more, we have Jorge Leon, Edwin Santana, and Edwin Torres. We welcome you guys to the show.
Thank you.
You guys are no joke. You're out there doing some great things, right?
Yes, yes sir.
Keeping everybody safe?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about the program.
Okay, the program is a gang awareness, gang training program for law enforcement professionals.
Yeah.
And it's give knowledge to the law enforcement and police officers, for community engagement, being
Because you guys
proactive.
are on the front line. So
Yes.
you know, all that stuff, so you teach it to the police officers and law enforcement. Right?
Yes, and it's very important because at the same time we're educating our officers, we're taking a proactive measures with the community.
Yeah.
And, prevention of gang involvement with the children. Sometimes kids, you recognize the gang members and all that.
Yeah. So you have some friends with you.
Yes, I have Edwin Santana. He is the president of the East Coast Gang Investigator Association for the New Jersey chapter. And we have the national president, Edwin Torres. He's also the national president of the East Coast Gang Investigator Association.
Yeah. And it's tough to get, when you're working with gangs, to get everybody on the same page. I used to visit the jails at Rikers Island. And a couple of times they wanted to calm things down in jail, and we had members of each gang in one room. It was deep. I said, are we okay? But I felt okay because I felt like I knew a lot of the people. Absolutely. And I can identify with a lot of the things that are going on.
Absolutely.
And you guys are on the front line, so you know what's going on
absolutely.
too. Yeah.
A lot of rich history, but also violent at the same time. You know, we're talking about the Bronx chapter of the National Latino Peace Officers Association. So you mentioned Rikers Island, very historical when it comes to East Coast gangs. The Bronx, very historical, from the 70s, 80s, 90s, from the United Blood Nations to the Almighty Latin King Queen Nations.
Yeah.
A lot of history that basically started within the different boroughs of New York, but also spread out nationally, internationally.
Yeah. And you're in Jersey.
Yes. Yeah. In Jersey, I mean, everything comes back to gangs. Everyone's fighting the opioid crisis, and a lot of the major suppliers for the drugs throughout the entire East Coast area, gangs have a big hand in it. And if it's not the opioid crisis, it's human trafficking, credit card theft, identity theft, and gangs play a major role in this. So by our association, by combating it, doing the training, keeping officers safe, we're engaging in the communities, we can do something to try to stem the tide of what we see in the streets.
So you guys are here to let the public know, let officers know, and let the community know what?
Basically, in order to combat, to have a whole, you need to start educating and be aware. Knowledge is power. That's where George stepped in. George reached out to East Coast Gang Investigator Association, said he wanted to do a program within Bronx County. Eddie vouched, said let's do this. First we're looking to start with the law enforcement and then work our way into community leaders, parents, teachers, in order to make individuals aware of what's going on with this growing phenomenon that's basically taking over our societies, our streets, but also being very deadly towards our young adults.
And then hopefully we can engage with the kids and let them know the realities of what this kind of life will lead to, because that's where it's really important to let them know that they have other choices, that they don't have to join a gang. There's other things in their life they can choose instead of becoming gang members.
Well, you hear a lot of stories. What do you tell a youngster that says, hey, these guys are my family. My family doesn't look after me or love me the way my friends do?
Well, I think that's huge. I think that's where the community comes in. I think that's where community, in some ways we've let a lot of people down, and we as a community, not only law enforcement, but just people in the community, we need to embrace our kids better so that gangs aren't the answer, so that when a kid says that these are the only people that do love us and care about us, that we have other alternatives for a kid.
Yeah.
Because I've run across kids that, sometimes the gangs seem like it is their only option. And then we have to step in and say, hey, we have other options for that young man and that young lady. Yeah. And sometimes it does seem like that's their only option. But in actuality, there are other options. And we have to find those options for them and make them real.
Jobs?
Jobs is a big part of it. You know, jobs is probably a huge part of what the equation, but it's like realistic opportunities and making sure that the education system is right for our kids. You know, I think education is a big part of it as well.
Yeah.
You know, providing a really good, strong education foundation and just giving kids opportunities. The biggest opportunity is for kids to be kids and not to push them into a lifestyle where they're out there getting engaged in criminality at, as young as 8, 9, 10 years old.
Well, guys, what do you tell people who have joined the gang, and some even leaders who want to step away but don't know how to do so?
It's self-reflection. We understand that it's difficult once you join a gang and you've been with a gang for such a long time, because now you have deep secrets within the gang that could basically tear the gang apart. Walking away can be deadly, but at the same token, there's a lot of individuals that can help make that decision to walk away a lot more easier. Understandably, less time you have, the easier it is to get out. The longer you have, a lot of individuals know and understand the threat towards themselves and their families. So that's a very tough question, and it has to be something that the individual has to reflect and understand what type of commitment, because you can't be halfway in. You have to be totally 150% out of the gang.
Yeah.
And there's a whole network of former gang members who have turned their lives around and are giving back to the community, and have realized that they've done a lot of damage to the community and now want to give back. And we work with a lot of those individuals who have decided to change their lives and become much more productive in it.
What do you tell law enforcement on how to create like a harmony between the community and law enforcement?
Well, basically, that's why we're here for, and my collaboration with the East Coast Gang Investigator Association. We want to bridge that gap between law enforcement and the community through community engagement. We want to be more involved with the community, show the community that law enforcement is not your enemy and that we're here for you, and we're here to provide for the community. And like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. And that's basically what we want to do. We want to be more involved with the community, and by bringing these type of programs and this type of knowledge, that eventually is going to be put out there for the community. And as far as awareness, we will be involved in a proactive way.
Yeah.
And preventive.
Do you need? How do you reach out to community? You need community support, elected official support, and of course, the department's support to help this work.
You got community groups out there like the police councils that we work with. We work with politicians, community boards.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of community engagement going on, just to get these things from happening.
Are you funded well?
We're a nonprofit.
Still looking. You're looking.
We always take it, because most of us all do it on our own time. Our agencies do what they do, but as far as our associations, this is all out of our own pocket.
So you need some private and public funding.
Well, we always look for assistance, and we try to engage faith-based organizations to go out there, because this is a part of our job, but not a part of our job. This is part of something we do out of our care and concern for the communities that we serve and the communities that we live in.
Can you ask for help on TV?
Well, we always ask for help. Anyone can go to our website and try to assist us.
Give me a camera that they can look into. Should it be number 3 here? Ask for what you want. Tell us what you need. You need the community support. You need elected official support. You need volunteers.
Absolutely. We always need the support and help of the communities that we're in and we serve. And please go to our website if you'd like to donate and to assist us. We're always looking for sponsors to assist us in our mission to help train officers and to reach out into communities and to help with the training and assistance when it comes to gang awareness and identification, and train officers and assist the communities that we serve. Thank you.
Also, to train civilians and law enforcement staff, we need locations. If we can find areas, venues that can provide us free locations where we can conduct free training to our law enforcement community, to our civilian staff, our community leaders, that would be phenomenal.
We also accept associate members, which is composed of community activists, key players in the community, and they go help out in our mission as far as getting these trainings and making these things happen.
Great. Is there a website that somebody can go to and look at?
Yes.
Ours is nlpoa.org.
NO.
nlpoa.org, or we have a Facebook page, which is the NLPOA Bronx County Facebook page. We always advertising and putting out the activities that we do on that page,
And jobs.
and jobs.
There you go. Give these gentlemen a big round of applause. Thank you guys so much for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for
what
having
doing in
us.
the community. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more next.